Hello there, I'm the Mollis Dimension, and today I'm going to be talking to Wendy Wong, a filmmaker who's going to be talking about If You Only Knew, her project. I'm talking to some people in the lead up to the YouTube release of my music video Asians of Feelings 2, which is this Saturday, the 7th of January, from 2 p.m. GMT. You'll be able to see that on YouTube, so it'll be great if you could tune in and catch the release. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Wendy. Hi, Wendy. How are you doing?
Hi, Squid. Hi. I'm good, thank you, and thank you for having me. And hi, everyone. My name is Wendy. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the writer director of If You Only Knew, the short film that I'm currently crowdfunding the budget. Yeah.
Brilliant. So I would love you to tell us a bit about your film, If You Only Knew.
Yeah. So basically, If You Only Knew is a short film that is really close to my heart because I started developing it since 2020. So it's actually quite a long time. So I've always wanted to tell some story because myself is queer. So I really want to tell queer story, but also featuring East and Southeast Asians because we just don't really see them on screen. That's why I feel like, you know what, I'm going to do it because I want to break the stereotypes of, the quiet Asian stereotypes. But also I feel like when people see, a queer, East and Southeast Asian on screen, they will be more willing to accept their, if they're struggling to, come to terms with their sexuality. I feel like this will be a really good reference for them. So if you only knew it's about Jacqueline or Jack, as she calls herself, so she studies in this really posh private school. And so Jack is British Chinese and she is actually out and proud, as opposed to, normally the ethnic minority is always the one in the closet. But I deliberately made Jack is the out and proud one. So one day she got into a fight and then everything happens really quickly. All we know that it's a white girl, Grace. She got hurt and then Grace's dad thinks Jack is the one who hit her.
Mm.
But it can't be because actually Jack and Grace are secretly dating. But there's a problem because Jack cannot out Grace. Grace is the one in the closet. So what Jack has to do is she has to prove her innocence while keeping Grace's secret because she doesn't want to out her girlfriend. And so the approach of the film would be like a bit like a mystery drama. So the head teacher is gonna investigate what actually happened after the father was like, Jack hits my daughter. So the more the head teacher investigates, so she interviews people who got involved in the fight. The more she investigates, the more she realizes her private school is actually not as perfect as she thinks. She thinks, they have like diversity scheme or like cultural appreciation week, something like that. But we all know like secondary schools can be quite rough. Teenagers can be really cruel. So it's about racism, homophobia, and also it's quite subtle. It's like in the UK, unfortunately. I feel like everyone thinks that, as opposed to the US is quite racism can be more like in your face, but in the UK it's more subtle. So I feel like the whole film is kind of like reflecting more than Britain, really.
Right, sounds really fascinating and some tricky themes that you're navigating there. So it sounds like a really crucial film. And thank you for sharing about that. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So what can people do to support If You Only Knew?
So we are running a Kickstarter. So we need 11K to make our film. It's quite a lot, actually. We understand that, but unfortunately, making films are not cheap. It's not cheap. And then we are very close, actually. So we are now over 7K. So if people can really, if you're in a position to donate, it will be really great if you can go to our Kickstarter and donate. And if you're not, if you can spread the words, if the themes, the problems that my film address is something that you care about, I would really hope that you would support this project and bring this to life. And actually, now we just recently got support by a support from Netflix. So it's a streaming service that showcase all the sapphic stories. So kind of it's basically like Netflix for lesbians. So if you're a fan, they are really generous. So in order to support us, if you pledge only £15, you can get a month of free subscription, which I think is actually a really attractive deal. So you can support our film, but also watch a lot of sapphic stories.
Amazing. Oh, great. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, so if you're listening, then make sure you check out the fundraiser and share it and donate and tell your friends about it. And yes, do what you can to support this film. Um, and yeah, I'm wondering, as well, like, what are your thoughts on hashtag Stop Asian Hate? And, why do you feel like it's important to help the community?
Yeah, so Stop Asian Hate, I feel like in the UK it's not big enough, unfortunately, but I feel like in the UK, because of how people see East and Southeast Asian, we're like the model minority, if you like. So people just think, we just kind of won't really we just take it as it comes to us, like whatever nasty comments, we just sort of like, because we don't really want to cause trouble. That is the stereotypes, but actually I feel like that is not true. And because Stop Asian Hate, it happened during COVID times, and then people are just so ignorant, and that makes me really angry because um, with all the COVID stuff, how can you blame the race? You blame the virus. No one wants to spread that virus. And then I think it's just another excuse for some ignorant people to, be racist. And I just feel like enough is enough. And, you know, it's time to break that quiet Asian stereotype. And I really want to do something about it. And I think what's the best way to do it. I feel like, because as a filmmaker, I want to make films that address something that I care about, and also hopefully to help change the society. So I feel like making a film that is entertaining, because no one wants to be preached at. So it's entertaining, but also make them reflect. And yeah, I feel like it's something that I really want to do something about it. And yeah, I think Squid, just like you, I feel like, you're using your work to help the cause and stop Asian hate and tell people Asians have feelings too. I think that's so cool, because I feel like, yes, exactly. Asians have feelings too. Don't think that we're like, the model minority, and then you can just talk whatever you want. Like, we have feelings too.
Yeah, oh, I'm glad that you said that. Thank you. Yes, I agree with what you said. It's really, really important to get a message out there and to do it in a kind of interesting and fun and kind of maybe even uplifting way, edutainment, you know. So thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me. It's been a real pleasure to meet you and to hear about If You Only Knew. And yeah, I really hope that people are going to be sharing about this and donating to If You Only Knew, the fundraiser, and following the journey ahead for If You Only Knew. And yeah, hopefully we'll be watching it in the cinema within, whenever the time is, maybe within the year or next year or something like that. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you check out Asians of Feelings 2 this Saturday on YouTube. Thank you very much to Wendy Wong for joining me. Bye.
Thank you so much. And sorry, thank you
Oh,
so much,
sorry.
Squid, for having me. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to, talk to you, and just it's just so good to meet another, East and Southeast Asian creative, and we are doing this together. That makes me very happy.
Yeah,
Yay.
delightful. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Squid.
Bye.
Bye.